Chapter 4. The Grand Trunk Road. The next morning, both Kim and the Llama were ready to start.
"It is time to travel the Great Road,"
said Kim.
"The long road that crosses all the rivers of India,"
said the Llama happily. As they were leaving the village, they saw the old man again. Now he was on an old horse and carried a sword.
"I would like to take you to the Grand Trunk Road,"
said the old man.
"That is very kind of you,"
said the Llama. The three left on their long walk, and after many hours they arrived at the Grand Trunk Road.
"And now we have arrived at the big road,"
said the old soldier.
"Look, holy man, this is the backbone of all of India. All kinds of men move here. Look, Brahmins, bankers, barbers, shopkeepers, pilgrims, all the world coming and going. A vast river of people."
Kim and the Llama said goodbye to the old man and began their pilgrimage.
"Now let's walk,"
said the Llama quietly. The Llama never looked up. He didn't see the group of gypsies with their lizards and dogs, the young soldiers, the little children with their toys from religious festivals, or the happy wedding party, singing, shouting, dancing and laughing. Finally, Kim could not stand the silence any longer, and said,
"This is a good land, the land of the south. The air and the water are good, aren't they?"
"And they are all attached to the wheel,"
said the Llama.
"attached from life after life. None of these people has seen the way."
Then he went back to his prayers.
"We have had a long and hard walk today,"
said Kim.
"Soon we will come to a resting place. Shall we stay there? Look, the sun is going down."
"What shall we do for food?"
asked the Llama.
"This country is full of good people. In any case,"
here Kim whispered,
"we have money."
The crowd became larger as they came to a resting place. A line of stalls sold food, tobacco and firewood. There was also a police station, water for horses, and a few trees. Kim also saw a cart with a curtain. There were 8 servants with it. 4 of them, Kim noticed, came from the hills of the north, and 4 of them were from the south. Behind the curtain was probably a wealthy old lady from the hills of the north who was going to visit family in the south.
"We can probably get some good food and help from this group,"
thought Kim, and so he began to build his fire close to the cart.
"Don't come so close, beggar!"
shouted one of the servants, one of the men from the hills of the north.
"Huh? It's only a man from the hills. Do donkeys from the hills own all of India now?"
said Kim. The servants from the south laughed, but the man from the hills became angry. He ran towards Kim, but when he saw the Llama, he stopped immediately.
"Oh!"
cried the servant from the hills when he saw the Llama.
"I almost committed a horrible sin."
"What has happened?"
shouted an old woman behind the curtain.
"Why doesn't someone beat that beggar and send him away?"
The servant from the hills went to the cart and whispered something to the old lady.
"This is going very well,"
thought Kim. The servant came back from the old lady. Since they came from the north, they had the greatest respect for the old Llama.
"When he has eaten,"
the servant from the hills said respectfully to Kim,
"my lady the Sahiba would like to have the great honor of speaking with the Holy One."
"After he has eaten, he will sleep,"
said Kim. He did not know where his game was going, but he wanted to take advantage of it.
"Now I will get the holy man his food,"
said Kim.
I and the other servants will take care of that, if it is permitted,"
said the servant respectfully.
"It is permitted,"
said Kim.
"Holy One, these people will bring us food."
"The land is good. All the country of the south is good,"
said the Llama quietly. He was very tired now.
"Come here,"
said the woman behind the curtain.
"Listen, beggar. I am an old woman, but I am not a complete fool. He is certainly a holy Lama, and I respect him. But you do not come from the hills. You are just a beggar who wants to make money.
Doesn't everybody want to make money?
replied Kim.
Anyway, I have heard...
What have you heard?
asked the old woman. She was certain that Kim was going to begin another one of his amusing insults.
I have heard that the Rajas of the hills in the north sometimes sell their most beautiful daughters for money in the south.
Be careful, beggar!
cried the old woman.
You know the punishment for saying such things? An elephant steps on you and you die.
Oh, please!
cried Kim with exaggerated terror.
Oh, please, Eye of Beauty, great queen!
40 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, people called me the Eye of Beauty. But not today,
said the old lady with a laugh. Kim soon discovered that the old lady was going on a pilgrimage to Bodh Gaya. She asked Kim and the Lama to go with her. She wanted to laugh with Kim some more, and she also had important spiritual matters to talk about with the Lama. This was very fortunate, and Kim was happy to accept her offer. Chapter 5. The Red Bull. The following day, the old lady's group, which now included Kim and the Lama, arrived early at the next resting place. Kim decided to take a walk until sunset. He and the Lama walked across the plain until they came to a group of mango trees. Then, far away, Kim saw 4 men.
Soldiers! British soldiers!
said Kim.
Let's wait and see. Here, we can hide behind this tree.
Soon, 2 of the 4 soldiers went into the group of mango trees. They were the advance party of a regiment on the move. Each one carried long sticks with flags to mark their camp for the night.
Here, I imagine, will be the officers' tents,
said one of the soldiers, and pushed a stick with a flag into the ground. Kim stared. The 2 soldiers walked away into the afternoon sunshine.
Look, Holy One!
shouted Kim.
Look! It's my sign! The red ball on a green field! And just like my father said, 2 men came to prepare the way.
He pointed to the flag. It was just an ordinary flag to mark camp for the regiment. But this regiment, called the Mavericks, had put their special sign on it. The great red bull on a background of green. Soon there were men everywhere. They set up tents on the plain and under the mango trees. Then a group of servants came, and all around them a little town appeared as they watched.
Now, let's go back to the resting place. After we have eaten, we will come again,
said Kim. As soon as dinner was finished, he and the Lama went back to the mango trees.
Stay here behind this tree, and I will go take a closer look in that tent,
Kim said to the Lama. He went very carefully up to a large tent. It was the tent where the officers ate their dinner. In the middle of the table was a golden bull. All the officers were standing. Each one held a glass in his hand and then said some words together. Kim did not understand that the bull was only the symbol of the regiment. He thought it was some kind of god. After the drink, one of the men, the Reverend Arthur Bennett, decided to leave and go back to his tent to sleep. As he walked out, he fell over Kim, who was lying on his stomach.
Oh, a boy,
he said, and he grabbed Kim.
Are you a thief? Do you know what we do to thieves?
I am not a thief,
cried Kim in English, but Bennett took him to his tent. When they arrived in Bennett's tent, Kim saw his chance to escape and started to run away. But Bennett grabbed him again, but this time he grabbed a little cloth bag. Its string broke, and Bennett held it in his hand.
Oh, please give that back to me,
cried Kim in English.
I did not steal. That is my charm. Oh, please give it back to me.
Bennett did not listen to Kim. Instead, he called for his colleague, Father Victor.
I want your advice,
said Bennett.
I caught this boy. I think he is a thief, but he speaks English, which is very strange. This is his charm which he wants very much.
A thief who talks English,
said Father Victor.
Let's open up his charm.
First, Father Victor saw the documents of the club. Then he saw Kim's birth certificate. Kim's father had written on it, "Look after the boy. Please look after the boy," signing his name and the name and number of his regiment.
Do you know what these are?
Asked Father Victor.
Yes,
Said Kim.
they are mine and I want to go away.
Father Victor opened up his shirt and said,
Look, Bennett. He's not so dark. This is the son of Kimball O'Hara, who was in this regiment. This is a miracle.
Yes, maybe,
said Kim.
but I am not a thief. My father told me to look for a red ball on a green field, and then 900 devils and a colonel will look after me. So when I saw a room full of sahibs praying to a ball, I knew I was in the right place. The holy man agrees with me. He's outside. I am his disciple.
Sahibs praying to a bull? Disciple of a holy man? Is the boy mad?
Said Bennett.
This is certainly O'Hara's boy,
Said Father Victor.
Let's talk to this holy man.
Bennett and Kim went to bring back the Lama, who came into the tent with dignity. The Lama explained his search to the two men, and Kim explained what he had discovered to the Lama. He, Kim, was actually a Sahib, and his father had been a member of this regiment. Then Father Victor explained that Kim must stay with them and go to school. This interested the Lama greatly.
Do they give or sell learning among the Sahibs? Ask them,
Said the Lama, and Kim interpreted.
They say that you pay the teacher, but the regiment will give that money. Why talk about this? I will escape tomorrow.
Kim said to the Lama in Hindustani. But the Lama ignored Kim's talk about escaping.
And if you pay more money, you receive better learning,
Continued the Lama.
Ask them how much a very good school costs. Well, the school called St. Xavier's in Lucknow costs 300 rupees a year,
Said Father Victor. Again, Kim interpreted for the Lama and said to Father Victor,
The Lama wants you to write that name and the money on a piece of paper and give it to him.
Father Victor did that. The Lama got up suddenly.
Now I am going to continue my search,
He said, and left the tent. Bennett said,
Now we will take you to the town of Sanawar, where you will live and go to school.
You are not going to Sanawar. You are going to war.
Answered Kim.
I don't think so. You are confused. This is an army, yes, but there is no war now.
Responded Bennett.
Yes, there is.
Continued Kim, because he wanted to impress these Sahibs.
When you arrive at Ambala, you will be sent to war with 8,000 men.
Incredible,
Said Father Victor. Chapter 6. The Polo Pony. The next day, the soldiers took all the tents down, and the Mavericks marched to Umballa. Kim walked with them. In the afternoon, Father Victor rode up to him.
How did you know? How did you know we were going to war?
Kim did not answer. He just looked mysteriously into the distance. The next day, the Mavericks left Umballa for the war. A drummer boy guarded Kim.
How far away am I allowed to walk?
Asked Kim, as they stood in front of the empty barracks.
You can walk as far as that tree down there,
Answered the drummer boy. Kim, who was now wearing stiff army clothes, did not have the energy to run. He walked towards the tree. A servant walked by and insulted Kim in Hindustani. He did not think Kim could understand him. Kim invented a series of insults in Hindustani as an answer. The native servant was amazed.
And now?
Said Kim to the servant.
Go and call me a letter writer.
Soon the letter writer came. He was curious to see this strange English boy who could speak Hindustani so well. The letter he wrote for Kim finished with,
The clothes are very heavy and my heart is heavy too. I do not like the air and water here. Come and help me, Mahbub Ali, or send me some money because I do not have enough to pay the writer who writes this.
When the letter writer discovered that Mahbub Ali was Kim's friend, he agreed to post the letter for Kim and wait for his payment. Kim went back to the drummer boy. After lunch, he was very happy when a soldier came and took him to see Father Victor.
"I have received a letter from your friend, the Lama,"
he said with amazement.
Where is he? Is he well? Oh, if he can write a letter, all is well,
said Kim.
"You are fond of him, then?"
asked Father Victor.
Of course I am fond of him. He is fond of me,
replied Kim.
"He can't write English, can he?"
asked the priest.
Oh no, but of course he found a letter writer,
answered Kim.
"Well, he wrote me a most incredible letter from the Jain temple of Benares where he's staying. He says that he will send you the 300 rupees a year for you to attend St. Saviour's. This is incredible. Is this true, Kim?"
If he says he will give me 300 rupees a year, then he will do it,
answered Kim calmly.
"Well, we were going to send you to the military orphanage, but now I will wait for 3 days. I really do not believe this is true, but I will wait 3 days,
decided Father Victor. 4 days later, Father Victor had 2 more surprises. First, he received another letter from the Lama with a cheque for 300 rupees.
The Lama, who is just a street beggar, has enough money to send a white boy to an expensive school,
he thought. Just then the drummer boy came running to him.
The boy is gone,
he cried.
A strange man with a red beard riding a stallion came. He hit me and then pulled that boy up. Then they rode away.
"What other strange people does this boy know?"
said Father Victor to no one in particular. The man with a red beard, Mahbub Ali, rode a short distance with Kim and said,
Little friend of all the world, I cannot take you away. Everybody saw me hit that drummer boy and take you. If I don't take you back, they will put me in jail.
Please let me escape,
begged Kim.
I want to go back to my Lama.
Just then an Englishman rode up on a small polo pony.
Here you are. I have looked for you everywhere,
said the Englishman.
What horses have you got for sale these days?
I have a wonderful young horse, perfect for the delicate and difficult game of polo. There is no other horse like it,
said Mahbub.
Of course, you always say that,
said the Englishman.
And what on earth is this?
A boy,
said Mahbub seriously.
He is an orphan. His father was a soldier.
Let him go then,
said the Englishman.
He will certainly come back when he is hungry.
Oh no,
explained Mahbub.
He is a clever little boy. He has friends. He changes his clothing and becomes, as if by magic, a little Hindu boy or a Muslim boy.
Really?
said the Englishman, who looked carefully at the boy. Kim became very angry. Mahbub was making fun of him.
They will send him to a school,
said Mahbub,
and put heavy boots on his feet. Then he will forget everything he knows. Now, which barracks is yours?
Kim was so angry now that he could not speak. He pointed to where Father Victor lived.
Well,
continued Mahbub,
perhaps he will make a good soldier. He will make a good servant at least. I sent him once to deliver a message about a white stallion.
Kim did not say a word, but he thought,
Me? Just a servant? Just a common soldier? I delivered that important message to this Englishman. Now I recognise him. Was that the work of a servant? Doesn't the Englishman recognise me? That's horrible, Mahbub.
And Mahbub stared at the Englishman, who was Colonel Creighton. Colonel Creighton stared at Kim, who was silent.
My horse is well trained,
said Mahbub.
You see, it doesn't kick.
Mahbub, of course, was really talking about Kim. He wanted Colonel Creighton to see that Kim knew not to talk about important things, never, even if he was terribly provoked. In other words, Kim could become a great secret agent. Colonel Creighton was, after all, the head of the British spies in India.
Ah,
said Colonel Creighton.
Who will make this boy a soldier?
He says the regiment that found him, and especially the priest,
answered Mahbub.
There is the priest,
shouted Kim, as Father Victor came down from his veranda.
Incredible. O'Hara,
Said the priest when he saw Kim on Mahbub's stallion.
how many more friends have you got?
So, Kim went to the St. Saviour's in Lucknow. Before he went, Mahbub explained to Kim that he too could become a secret agent. Anyway, the school was not so bad as Kim had thought. The other boys there were born in India, just like Kim. So, Kim studied and began to learn about making maps. This was very important if he wanted to travel and collect information for the government as a secret agent. But after his first year of school, Kim wanted to be free again, at least for his school holidays. So he ran off and found Mahbub. The two travelled together, but finally Mahbub took Kim up to Simla, a town in the hills. When they arrived there, Mahbub said,
I have heard from Colonel Creighton. He says you have not come back to school.
School in the summer?
said Kim.
The holidays are mine.
Perhaps.
Continued Mahbub.
But now Colonel Creighton says you must stay at Lurgan Sahib's house until it is time to go back to school in Lucknow.
I would prefer to stay with you.
Said Kim.
This is a great honour,
Said Mahbub.
Lurgan Sahib himself asked for you. You will go up the hill and find his house. Then you must forget that you have ever known Mahbub Ali, who sells horses to Creighton Sahib, whom you also do not know. Remember this order.
Good,
Said Kim.
I will not forget. Who is Lurgan Sahib? Is he one of us?
What talk is this of us, Sahib?
Mahbub Ali now talked to Kim as he usually talked to Europeans.
I am a Pashtun. You are a Sahib, and a friend of a Sahib, Lurgan Sahib, has a shop. You must obey him completely. Some people say that he does magic. Go up the hill and ask. The great game begins here and now.